All right, so think about your family. Some of the best conversations we had when we had them around the holidays as well is around the table.
Omaha Table Talk provides for open and honest conversations, giving everyone in the community a seat at the table. This isn't about one event, but an ongoing, meaningful dialogue.
Emilio, Herrera, and Krystal Boose, they are here this morning. Thanks for stopping by.
Good morning.
This morning.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, this is a cool concept, but first I want to talk about your organization, Inclusive Communities, and the organization's mission. What do you guys do?
Yeah, so we are a human relations organization that does educational programming in schools, businesses, and throughout the community.
I first started hearing about you a few years ago. Is that when you started, or had you been around much longer?
Yeah, we've been around for 77 years.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, we started as the National Conference of Christians and Jews, and since then we have expanded our programming to the needs that Omaha is facing and grown significantly, and then our mission has adjusted to both address those issues as well.
And the world today.
Yeah,
right? What are today's needs? We'll get to this specific program, Omaha Table Talk. What are some of the other programs where we might see inclusive communities throughout the Omaha area?
So
Emilio's like, girl, I gotta get here.
That is my job. I help develop and implement these programs. We try to be everywhere. So through educational programming, we try to reach youth as young as we've done some work with elementary school kids, all the way up to the business world. We've been fortunate enough to have some very prominent business leaders ask us to come and help their businesses with cultural competency and working on things like that. We do some advocacy work, and then we do community programs like Omaha Table Talk.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Everything from camps and workshops in schools to lunch and learns and seminars and weekend retreats.
Yeah, and Emilio was talking about Omaha Table Talk. So let's get to that. What is that, and how does this all tie together?
So about a decade ago, there was a group of people that got together and felt that a lot of the ills that we face in Omaha with racial tension, discrimination, they thought that could be solved if we just got people together to share a meal and to just talk to each other and see each other as humans. So when it began back then, what would happen is people would open up their homes, fix a meal for people, and just talk. Beginning last year, we saw that sometimes it's a barrier to go into people's homes, and so we thought that the talk was actually more important. So what we did is we asked businesses and restaurants throughout Omaha to open up their doors and donate 12 to 15 meals to give people a space to talk about these things. So it worked great. We have a long list of people who were clamoring just to get together to provide the space. And so we're looking to do that again this year.
And why do you keep it at a small group that way instead of having dozens of people, 1 dozen sitting at the table?
Yeah, so our monthly programming actually has a format of everyone just in one room. This way, it really gives people a chance to, if they hear something from someone, to say, oh, can you tell me more about that? Sometimes people will say something that they see as just very mundane in their own life, and someone also hear it and say, I've never heard anyone say that before. Can you tell me about that experience?
Do you pick a topic as you're sitting down at the table, or do you let that group determine the content of the conversation?
Yeah, so each month, this is our main event in February, and that the theme for that will be race and identity. But each month we pick a theme that is in the news or a hot topic or something that's facing our community, and the programming is focused around that.
Yeah, you mentioned you switched the concept of a little bit, moving it from having dinner in people's homes to restaurants. What has the response been from the restaurant community, and more specifically, just the business community for this whole concept?
We love Omaha, and Omaha loves us. So we have tons of community partners, both people that are organizations that are collaborating with us, and then restaurants and businesses that are supporting and want to be participants. So we have the Urban League, the Latino Center of the Midlands, You're Welcome Omaha, Nebraska Appleseed, the Greater Omaha Chamber of Commerce's YP program. They're on board. It's just saying, like, we want people to participate. You should know about this. And then some of the businesses that were just a couple to jump on, because we'll have over 20 restaurants participating, but Omaha Metro, both the Fort and South Campus will be participating. We have Omaha's Outward Bound School at North Star's campuses in North Omaha will be there. Latino Center in the Midlands again will have a space. Don Gabby's Canvas and Cabernet and Exarban, Crave, Cantina Laredo. So these are just a couple of our community partners that are on board, and they're so excited.
They know it's a good idea,
And
they get it.
Yep.
The next one is coming up. We'll show you some information here about it. Is registration required for these? And if our viewers, I mean, if space fills up here, do you recommend getting on some kind of a list for the next conversation?
For this one, we would love to say that we could open up to as many people as possible, but we're going to have to cut participants at about 200 people just because we want to have about 20 restaurants.
Great.
So space is filling up very quickly, so I would recommend please register. If you think this is an event for you, please register. If you don't think this is an event for you, it is for you, and so you should register as well.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of people that should be involved with this because I can see on social media there's so many topics and issues affecting our local community, and you see people debating these issues on social media. A better forum is to get together around a table, like you said, and talk about these issues.
We have about a minute. Are you noticing tangible differences in the way people think and speak, and most importantly, treat one another?
I would say that what really inspires me day to day is the youth. The youth now are so much smarter and so much better at these conversations than I think I could ever be. I see our high school youth, and they just have a language and a knowledge and appreciation for differences, and they celebrate people's differences instead of kind of focus on them.
Yeah, they have no fear.
Yeah.
They feel free to talk about those issues.
Yeah, and with social media, we have to be, the messages spread so quickly, we have to be just adjusting our programming to address that and continuing that conversation with them.
We encourage you to visit inclusive-communities.org to learn more about the organization and specifically this next Table Talk event coming on February 3rd. Thank you both for coming in. It's
thank
nice
you.
to meet
Thanks a lot.
you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Well, get to our website.